Hello Cartoon Tank fans, we got another one here. I believe this is the latest one. It's the number 20, the M10 Wolverine used by the US and Allied forces in World War II. So, nice little renderings there, weathered and stuff. This is a video game, by the way. Oh, here's some other models you can get. They came out with some recolors, but they seem to have cartoon characters. It would be cool if these military ones had cartoon characters. But I'm not really feeling a pink Sherman tank, so it's not my thing. I'll stick with the one I already built. Oh, it says also 2022 here. Alright, so there's the story behind the Wolverine. Yeah, alright, okay. Let's see, weight-wise it's around 30 tons, like a Sherman, I guess. And then a crew of 5. I wouldn't expect that many people in that thing. 76mm gun, alright. And some shots, I guess, from the video game. So if you're new to model building, these are a pretty good introduction to making models, because I think these are meant for kids, because they have rubber tracks and they can actually roll. Real scale models generally don't move. They're going for detail, not toy playability. So just take a look at the instructions and the plastic, and show you the quality of these things. I will say, even though this is like a toy, it's very well designed, like a real model kit. You're obviously going to have to get some clippers. I tend to default to my display clippers myself. So these are really rubbery, and so you can roll. The problem with these is it's really hard to paint things onto rubber. Basically, I paint mine and I never roll the thing because it'll just chip off. But as you can see here, the plastic is pretty well done. Every time I say stuff like that, I'm wrong. There's some scratches on that one, so that's not good. But in particular, I don't see too many of the waviness that I see like in a Bandai model kit, where the plastic like flows into the mold and like, oh, here it is right there. There's like a line right there. It's barely visible. It's on the hull, so it doesn't matter. But like here on the front surface, it's not really visible. Well, it is up here. No, I take that back then. I'm always wrong. Every time I say something, the opposite happens. It's like Murphy's Law, right? So the decals are nice and all. The problem is they're so tightly packed, it's really hard to get the numbers out of there, because those become decals too. So, and they'll contaminate your regular decals. So you want to trim those decals out before you apply them with the water and stuff. Oh, you can see that's why it got all scratched. There's like 4 parts just floating around in the bag. Alright, and there's the hull there. So the instructions are really simple, very easy. You don't even really need to read. You just need to look at numbers and arrows, right? And follow those accordingly. Although I will make some recommendations. I wouldn't put the hull together completely. Like, I wouldn't glue it. You don't need glue in most cases. You want to test fit everything first. So what I do is I usually put all the little bits onto the hull before I actually assemble the top and bottom hull together. Because if I have to remove them, or if I had to have glue when it's already sealed shut, it's going to be hard to do. And then you might risk breaking some of the parts if you take it off, right? So that's the main recommendation I would, say. Also, I did have a turret that had a hard time going together, and because I couldn't take it apart. So this one is open, so hopefully I won't have that issue. This actually is probably the longest instruction set I've seen. It's a whole 8 steps. Alright, this tells you where the decals go and some paint recommendations. So as usual, I'm going to fast forward this thing 8 times. You can slow it down if you want, but we'll see at the end and talk a little bit about the tank. So this time around I decided to go with a winter wash, you know, as if this thing is painted white like it happened in the real world. So yeah, it's my first one that's kind of a winter wash. I'll have to eventually do a German one, I guess, this winter wash as well. Oh, maybe the Soviet ones as well. Maybe a T-34. Anyways, there's not too much to it. There wasn't anything. Let's see what I can remember about being difficult. No, 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 no. Oh, well, I'm a moron. So I put the hull together without that piece in there. So then I had to break it apart and put it back in. That's just my fault for not paying attention to the instructions. But all these seemed okay. Yeah, I don't even think I really drilled out too much. I may have attempted to drill out a few holes, but I just wasn't putting the pegs in the proper direction. I was trying to put them in at an angle instead of the way they should have been. They did give you an extra piece of plastic to put into the receiver of this cannon, but I found a 1/6 scale brass bullet, and it's close enough that I think that's more realistic. These are all plastic back here. So it's kind of weird the design of this tank, how they have the antenna here, because if you look, I mean, the turret's just going to knock it off, right? Right? So it's just a horrible design. So you got to be careful putting this turret on because the index is 90 degrees, but this is the only way you could really get it on and off, right? They should have angled that so you don't get near that thing. Obviously, if you... Well, I guess you could put it on this way. Maybe that's it. Again, I'm an idiot, but no, you can't, because you can't rotate this past that without risk of breaking it. So, alright, well, as far as the weathering goes, it's pretty straightforward. I just, use some pigments for rust, and then I clear coated it a lot, and then I put the white over it, and the decals went on before the white. And then I had some mud and stuff like that I also put on, and just a lot of layering up of different colors and whatnot. And I very often had to go back with like a fine Q-tip to take off the white, I feel like some parts like these boxes and the tool handles wouldn't be covered in white because, they're going to be used. So, okay, well, that's it. This is a little Toy Story soldier I found locally. Unfortunately, it doesn't stand very well at all. Let's get the other U.S. tanks out here. So this looks like it's based off the Sherman. Right, same carriage here. And then this is a light tank, the Chaffee. Yeah. And then the predecessor to the Chaffee was the M5 Stuart. So those are my U.S. tanks right now. And I think they all look different enough. Their greens aren't identical, so that's what I'm all about. Just having some variation. Alright, let's get these guys out. Let this go for one last spin. So I've ordered every model kit from this Meng company, so I still have a bunch more to go if you like this sort of stuff. It's just, I'll get around to the next one someday. Thanks for watching this one, though. Take care.